What's up, collector? Back with another rigorous resin review for new PVC pre-used or previewed, and I am not alone. For the first time ever, I've gone transcontinental. My partner, Ricardo Diaz Madero. Jesus, I will mess up his name every single time, if you let me.
Hi, Tony. How you doing?
There he is, guys, all the way from Spain. We're about to pop open this here DC Flash from McFarlane Toys. McFarlane Digital, to be exact. So stand by while we pop them open. 3, 2... All right, collector fan, we have returned, Ricardo and I, and simultaneously, we will be using our sharp devices to cut open the box. So you shall get the experience just alongside us. I have not seen this open, only in the box before. For those of you who are interested, this is McFarlane Toys Digital, which means you can use the code and I guess have a digital character online. We can explore that kind of stuff later on. Be careful. I'm always so afraid I'm going to cut my damn fingers off. You know that? Be careful. Don't cut your fingers off. Okay. All right. They have a couple of different other Flash models here, and honestly, I thought this was the better of all of them. So, real quick, for those of you who are box keepers, if you're going to keep the box, this would be the reason for it. Check that out. The back of that box has this really cool Jim Lee inspired Flash artwork on the back of it. I can't tell you exactly which comic book this is taken from, but it is based on the Jim Lee artwork. So the statue is based on that. Let's go ahead and pull this open. Nice and light, I'll tell you that right off jump. Okay, and if you don't place it right, it'll fall off. Let's look inside the box. Inside the box, guys, Ricardo has just gone to opening things. That's how you can tell somebody who doesn't open these things often. He wants to play with a toy. He just wants to play with the toy. That's all he wants. Inside this box, however, you need to open up. There is a keepsake card. McFarlane Toys, the keepsake card. I'm going to use my handy dandy scalpel tool. Pry that open. They do not make this so you can put it back, guys. Once you've taken it out of this, it's over. Oh my gosh, so this is knocking things around. Alright, so this is the card. This is the first thing I have out. Check that out. And there is a synopsis on the back of the card there. Ricardo, you want to show them yours? You got the same thing I got. So he's going to open that back up. The back of the card says his real name. Of course, everybody knows this already. If you're a DC fan, it's Wally West. His real name is Wally West. He's the fastest man alive. From Kid Flash to the Flash, Wally has lived one of the strangest lives of any speedster, traversing multiple planes of existence just to find his way back home. Now, that's a pretty cool synopsis. There you go. So that's what you got with the Flash. And inside, the last bit you need are the stand to hold him up. Okay, let me stage that right. Okay, hey, we were interrupted by people who do not care about our time when we're unboxing these things for your amusement. I have just showed you inside the box was both the pole to hold our friend the Flash up and our stand, which comes with every one of these. We're looking up there. Ricardo is showing you his the same. All right, cool. There is people who keep boxes. I think Ricardo might be one of those weird people. I, however, am not, because I don't have room for the box, just the statue. So remember, what you want to do is save the earth by recycling. Recycle. You must recycle to save the earth. Okay.
Hay que reciclar los envases. Hay que reciclarlo todo.
Did you hear that, people? Now you can't say you didn't hear it. It was in Spanish and English. All right. So for those of you who are interested, this is him in the box. Ricardo's got the same problem I have, which is inside the box is all this this stringy gobbledygook crap in the back you have to take out. I can't stand it. I don't know why they do it to me. They make me so angry. That's how I remember. That's how you have to open it like that. You have to be a brute.
Sí.
Un bruto. Huh?
Salvar la figura, pero aquí la tenemos. No tenemos aquí el Flash.
Oh, you got it out already. That's not fair. Tell everybody about him while I get him out. Tell them.
Entonces, bueno, lo primero que veo que tiene un inserto aquí para colocar la base y mantener la figura estable. Vamos a ponerla.
How many more of those stupid things are on there?
Bueno, ya tenemos la figura bien situada, pero vamos a ver, muy bien. Como comentaba antes, aquí tiene la sujeción, la manera tienes que meter aquí para que la base esté estable y dar esa sensación de movimiento, ¿vale? Tony, ¿has visto qué movimiento tiene? Have you seen the movement, the action pose?
I have. I'm just going to start looking at it. But before we get too far into it, I know how the people are. They like me to show them what it looks like first. And then we're going to put it on here. And we're going to give it a full body spin. So they can see what it looks like when they buy it at home. So,
right.
Let's see here. You got to jam this pole in his back. I tell you guys, I am still not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of this at all. No me gusta eso. What the heck? You put it in there yet?
Yeah. Pero primero tienes que poner el metal en la base. First, the pin into the base.
Okay. You heard
That's
the man.
right.
See that? You got it. I'm still learning. I'm still learning. Wow, you got to push hard, eh?
Sí. Pero hay que girar, twist it a little bit. Yeah.
So I twisted a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I twisted it. It's in there.
Yeah. Ya está. Ahora tienes que insertar como yo hice aquí,
Yeah, but it's not. It's what this shit.
Yeah, no, just because look the pose. The pose is.
I got you. Yep. All right, guys. Sorry. What he was trying to tell me is I was going on the opposite side. So make sure when you're putting your pole in his back here, it's cleared both of his legs. So I guess I was trying to go on the opposite side of a leg, and it wasn't going to do that. They at least did us the courtesy of matching the red on the back there, so it wouldn't look so bad. But I will talk to you more about it in just a second. First, we're going to do a full body spin. So hang on a second. Here we go. 3, 2.
Review con glamour, guys, look at this detail. Y en español, este paint job está brutal. Chequeo, articulación, range of motion test. Si aguanta una pose, it's best. Si hay diorama, I'm like, take my money now.
We are back, collector fan. Ricardo and I have unboxed the Flash. We have sat him down and given you a full 3D full body spin of this sucker here. And there's lots to talk about with the old Wally West character, okay? So we'll be talking about it in both Spanish and English. But first thing is, are you guys the McFarlane's digital collectors? Are you guys into these things? I'm really curious to know. Ricardo, have you had any more of these? Do you have any more digital toys?
No, es la primera figura de McFarlane Digital que tengo en mis manos. Pero también puedo comentar que es una tendencia muy extendida el mundo del digital. Para los que no hayan coleccionado ninguna figura digital, es una figura que tiene la figura física y tiene una implementación en el mundo digital. McFarlane ha creado una plataforma para que tengas tus coleccionables online, ¿vale? Y bueno, esta es una de las figuras de la colección de McFarlane Toys Digital. Entonces, bueno, la primera que abro no había abierto ninguna, tiene buena pinta. Y bueno, seguimos analizándolo. Let's talk about more.
Yeah, no, I'm more curious about whether or not we can put it in Nibble with the McFarlane Toys digital tools. What is Nibble, you ask? You should check it out. These have been geolocated and added to both of our Nibble accounts where we keep our inventory for all of our toys. Just saying. So McFarlane Toys has a way to keep your digital toys, and so do we. I think it's a cool thing. I rarely use that function. What I do know, Ricardo, you telling me, I love the cars. I like the cars that they come out. It's very nice. It's a nice car. But what
está inspirado en Jim Lee.
Yeah. And I have a problem with one issue. What's the problem? Okay, this is my statue. I'm gonna take up all this room. Where am I gonna put the card? ¿Dónde se quiere poner the card? Where are you guys gonna put the card? So if you don't find a way to lean it, you gotta lean it up against. It's no good. McFarlane Toys, please listen. The collectors want a place to put the card inside the stand. It wouldn't take much to make a little slot right here that I can lock this into the stand, and now everybody can walk off and enjoy and see the card on top of everything else. So.
Es muy buena idea, muy buen apunte, Tony, porque realmente es algo que se vería bien en nuestras figuras, poder poner estas tarjetas digitales y tener incluso el certificado, porque aquí tenemos un rasca donde si rascamos vamos a obtener el código digital que nos da acceso a la parte digital de la figura dentro de McFarlane Digital Toys. ¿Okay? Entonces, bueno, tenemos que introducir el código en la plataforma y también tenemos un código QR en uno de los laterales de la caja. Creo recordar que estaba justo en este lateral, la tenemos aquí.
Yeah, you can scan it, so you can scan the barcode, everybody. Just in case. Yeah, so that's all he's saying, guys. Just scan the barcode if you want to get access to the McFarlane Digital Toys. Of course, after you purchase, I think you have to enter something in. There's some code, right? Is there some code inside? Or, okay, no.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
That's the code that he was.
You have the barcode. You have to discover your number here.
Yeah.
And introduce it after you are logged in the platform. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, that's the way.
That is the way. You heard it here. Okay. So for that, now we know how it operates. What I want to talk about now is, and this is going to be the fun part, because Ricardo has done sculpture for a lot of the really well-known manufacturers that you would have purchased toys from already. So he has a unique perspective about how things get made. It's not just about how it looks to us and how much we enjoy the character, but sometimes a little bit about how it gets made, right? A little bit of the secret sauce, which is why it's really important for us to listen to the people who are sculptors, because maybe they have some interesting insight as to how some of these go. So, first things first, guys, we always start with the same thing every single time. Ricardo, if Ricardo actually watches the videos, he would know what that is. It's the portrait. It's always the portrait. We start with the portrait first, because if it doesn't look like it's supposed to look, then it's a fail. Is that right?
A ver,
Okay.
yo creo que nos encontramos con una figura que dentro de la gama de precio-calidad está bien equilibrado. No, por el precio que tiene la figura, no sé, hablando de esto, Tony, ¿por qué precio? How much it cost you there in USA?
This one was, I think, I want to say maybe $39.99. I got this one cheaper, but in Spain, So, guys, understand that, which is basically the point he's trying to make right now. The price difference between what it costs for us in the U.S. and what it costs for him in Spain, it was almost double. It was almost double to get it to these guys in Spain. He's in toy hell. It's a toy hell, right? I hope you feel bad for him. Send him toys, for goodness sake.
Nosotros aquí en España no tenemos acceso a todas las figuras que se comercializan y en cambio en Estados Unidos es mucho más fácil conseguirlas, pero gracias a las plataformas digitales se puede comprar online a través de muchas de las plataformas de venta y esa es una de las maneras de adquirir figuras como estas, porque realmente en tiendas no siempre tienen el género, no siempre tienen este tipo de figuras para poder comprarlas directamente en tiendas. Y claro, es un poco lo que está comentando Tony. Las diferencias de precios entre Estados Unidos y España son sustanciales en ocasiones, dependiendo de dónde lo hayas comprado, ¿no? Así que bueno, pero además de la diferencia de precio, vamos a saltar por encima de esta apreciación, pero que la relación calidad-precio de la figura parece estar equilibrada. Me gusta mucho la pose, desde un punto de vista escultórico me parece que que es una pose muy dinámica. Claro, claro que también está
Pero,
inspirada en la...
the face of the character, the portrait, primero. What is... Yeah, the portrait... We can talk about the material makeup, pero primero, does it look like the Flash? Does he look like the Flash to you?
Yeah. It's...
Did they do a good job? They could do a good job with that one.
They made a good job. You can see the face here. Here, okay. So, it's a good job.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's nice painted and nice sculpted as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, entonces quiero decir, la cara está bien esculpida, está bien pintada. En líneas generales me parece una figura que está bien equilibrada. No es tampoco es un acabado top. It's not the top quality talking about figurines, but it's good.
I think exactly the same thing. I mean, of course, it's not the top. I don't want to talk about the other stuff. Just the portrait. I'm gonna look at the card. All right. Check out the card. Does it match the card? Does it match Jim Lee's version of the Flash? So when I'm looking at both of these guys, yeah.
Claro, porque lo primero que te das cuenta es que la ilustración de Jim Lee, vamos a poner en el box, lo vemos mejor. La ilustración de Jim Lee, su rostro es más joven.
Ajá.
What I want to admit is looks
young. He looks young.
Yeah. But in the sculpt seems to be a little bit older. If you see the
maybe a little bit. Entonces, ¿cuánto queso? You got 1, 2, 3 or extra cheese for the portrait. Only the portrait.
1, 2, 5 or 1, 2,
No,
3?
1, 2, 3 or extra cheese.
Okay, let's go for 2 cheeses.
2 cheeses portrait. I'm gonna be more generous. I really like this portrait. I think the portrait is he looks like he's having a really good time. I also really like how well they did the eyes. The eyes have a really intricate level blue, and it almost looks like it's digitally painted. I think it's hand painted, but it's really precise, and it looks like he's having a good time. And I do think he matches the Jim Lee version of the Flash, at least the one they had on the box. So for me, I'm gonna give 3 cheeses on the portrait. Okay, so the next question is always about the costume, and let's talk about how you think they did with the costume. Collector fan, we are back and we are talking about the second
Review
part
con glamour, guys, look
of
at this
the
detail. Y en
criteria that we
español este
judge
pencho está
for
brutal.
most of our
Chequeo,
stuff around here
articulación, range of
anyway.
motion test.
So
Si
let's
aguanta una
look
pose.
at
Eat
both,
fast, eat best. Y hay diorama.
all of
I'm
the
like,
following.
take my mind.
First, we look at the portrait, then we look at the costuming, then we look at dynamic pose, and finally we end with a diorama or the base, whatever it is that they're sticking on. So we are now talking about costuming. I'll go first. In terms of costumes, I don't know if you could mistake this character for anybody other than who it is. If you told me that this wasn't the Flash, I would smack you. Clearly, this is the Flash. He's in classic red and gold. He's got lightning bolts for his ears. He's got lightning bolts for his belt. And he's kicking out Flash all the way through. He's clearly the Flash. It's not a question. I have to give 3 cheeses. However, there is somebody else on with me. Hold on a second. You know what I forgot? Here's what I forgot. I forgot that I should have hit the mic button to record that entire thing. So I missed it. All right, guys. We're going to start by talking about the seconds in the list of things that we always talk about with our statues. First is the portrait, then it's costuming, then it's dynamic pose, followed immediately by the base or the diorama. So I'm going to jump right in and go first. I think obviously this is the Flash. He's in his beautiful red and gold. He has a Flash belt. He's got lightning bolts for a belt. He's got lightning bolts for his ears. And he's kicking up Flash speed force as he runs. It is clearly the Flash. So I'm going to go ahead and give this, for me, 3 cheeses. But I'm not the only one on the call. Ricardo, what do you think?
La verdad que creo que han hecho un buen trabajo. Yo le doy 3 quesos también, 3 cheeses. Y bien, la verdad que el custom, el trabajo está muy bien.
Ok. ¿No más?
No, solamente desde un punto de vista escultórico, a mí sí que me hubiera gustado más una integración de la parte de los rayos y que salen de él un poquito más integrada con el cuerpo, por ejemplo. Aquí en esta parte, no sé si se aprecia, aquí, en esta parte de aquí, hay los rayos salen como que están insertados dentro de la figura, pero no hay una integración de la forma del rayo con respecto al cuerpo. No hay una transición. Es como un inserto, clac, y ya está. What I want to mean is that, from my point of view, in terms of a skull, I would prefer to have some transition parts in between
from the back of the neck, right here.
Yeah,
between the shoulders.
Just between the textures and the lights, you know. It's because now it seems to be something that is inserted into the figure, but it's not integrated at all. So that's something that it's supposed to be. It can be improved.
So you would change that. You would change that part of the sculpture. You would change it. Pero cambia eso.
Sí.
Okay.
Yo si desde un punto de vista escultórico hubiera buscado una integración mejor de los rayos con respecto a la figura para que pareciera que realmente ese rayo sale directamente de Flash. Pero realmente, ya digo, es una precisión muy escultórica. Creo que quedaría mejor a la figura. Creo que sería una mejora de la figura a nivel estético, y esa es mi digamos, crítica con respecto a ese trabajo. En líneas generales he dicho, me gusta mucho cómo está hecho, pero creo que hay puntos de mejora y uno de ellos sería este. I think the most important thing to improve, on my point of view about the improvement on that sculpting work, could be that point that I'm sharing with you.
I appreciate that, because you don't always get the sculptor's point of view on what they would change from the sculpture. So let's move to the next one. You get 3 cheeses for the costume, ¿verdad? Okay, so we agree on that one. So now we go to dynamic pose. Is this pose dynamic? Does it match the character? Oh well. I mean, I tell you what, I went first last time. Ricardo, what do you think? ¿Qué piensa?
Yo pienso que la pose es dinámica, está bien, ¿vale? Lo que sí es verdad que cuando vi la figura, lo primero que me planteé fue qué momento estaba capturando. What I want to mean is, my first concern, it was about what's the moment they are trying to capture. It's not running so fast. It seems like you take a photo, a flash.
Yeah.
You froze the moment in order to show that moment, and Flash know it. Just because he's not running as fast, and smiling to you. It's like, okay, I'm here, and I smile at you, you capture that moment. That could be one interpretation about that figure. Quiero decir que podemos interpretarlo como que, bueno, Flash sabe que le están capturando en ese momento, te sonríe y prácticamente te está dando un guiño y te está saludando, ¿no? Porque no está en una pose súper de velocidad, no está yendo a su máxima velocidad. Entonces creo que, a ver, la pose dinámica, la pose está bien, pero básicamente me invita a pensar en este tipo de cosas. ¿Qué estás tratando de retratar? ¿Estás tratando de retratar el momento este que parece estar saludando Flash a su manera mientras corre y se para un momentito solo para decirte hola? ¿O estamos viendo una figura que pretende ser super velocidad? No sé, cada uno tiene su manera. Dejad los comentarios, ¿qué opináis acerca de la pose? Yo personalmente creo que es una pose que está muy bien, que es dinámica, pero que más bien sería una pose dando ese guiño, esa manera de saludar del personaje, ¿no?
Ok,
Eso es lo que
entonces, ¿cuánto queso?
3 cheeses.
3 cheeses on the dynamic from Ricardo. I'm gonna say 3 cheeses also. I think he's running faster than Ricardo thinks. I think he's moving faster. Why? Because I don't think you get the speed force until you're running very fast. Pero I will note that because he's not touching the ground here, but there is a note of the spark that comes off his foot. So just to say the way he's slanted, if you're looking at him right here, this is me holding him flat. I'm holding him flat here, right? And as I'm holding him flat, he's at you sideways. He's running so fast. He's coming at you at an angle. You see that angle? And for me, that just makes it look like he's that much more in motion. He looks like he's moving faster because, and I think maybe he's not touching the floor because he's in the middle of really fast movements in between. Like he's moving his feet like super fast across whatever the surface is. So I really think it's a super. His hands are out. You know, he's got a very big running stance, como así, and that's very typical Flash. Almost all of the books that you pick up for Flash, you will see something very similar to this look with the Speed Force running out behind it. So as far as a dynamic pose, this is not. I mean, yes, it looks like you took a picture in time. Click, but it doesn't look like he stopped for it. It looks like you just got a picture of him flying through, okay? So for me, that keeps a very dynamic pose, also 3 cheeses. So we gave 3 cheese to, I gave 3 cheese to the portrait, 3 cheese to the costume, and 3 cheese to dynamic pose. So there's only one thing left, and that is the base. And I will go first because I think it sucks. I think what a missed opportunity. Every single time I see this crap, this shit, this pole in the back nonsense, I think, haven't we gotten better than this? We have to put a pole in the back of the character. This is the part where I go, okay, why can't I ask my sculptor friend, why didn't we take this point, put it down here, and pin it down to the base so that it looks like he's running without a pole in his back? I don't know. Maybe there are reasons you can't do it, but it makes me so angry. You know why? Because I paid good money for this guy. I want to think this guy's flying at me. I don't want to think about a pole in his ass. I want to think this is the Flash and he's flying. Now, okay, maybe I'm making too much, a big deal out of it. It's okay. But I don't like that they do this. I will give them 1 cheese. And I'm only giving them that because, okay, they managed to find a way to at least pose him on the base, and they're selling their McFarlane Digital here at the bottom, which is, you know, I think the other big reason they have to have this shitty base is because their self-promotion right there at the bottom. Now, I could be wrong. There could be other reasons, but I'm going to be quiet now, and I'm going to ask that guy. Ricardo, why can't they do a better job of this shit? Why do they have to put a pole in his back? Why?
Yo creo que aquí hay varias cosas a tener en cuenta. La primera cosa que hay que tener en cuenta es el precio de la figura. Evidentemente una figura premium tiene mejor base, tiene mejor acabado por el precio que tiene la figura de esta gama y lo que te están ofreciendo. No hay que olvidar que tiene una parte digital también. O sea, ya cuando compras esta figura estás comprando una figura digital y estás comprando una figura física.
Okay.
Entonces estás comprando las dos cosas. Tal vez en este momento no estamos disfrutando de esa parte digital, pero parte del desarrollo de la plataforma para que tú puedas disfrutar de todo lo que acompaña a la figura en su versión digital, tiene un coste también. ¿Qué quiero decir? Que realmente el precio influye, obviamente, en que tenga una base más elaborada o no. Pero no solo es eso. Yo creo que también aquí hay una cosa importante que es el tema de aislar el personaje. Flash es un personaje que y más si lo retratas corriendo. ¿Qué es más importante? ¿El fondo o la base del personaje o el personaje en sí? En una base sencilla, con poca cosa, que no tenga demasiado atrecho, es más fácil darle importancia a la figura. Si el fondo si la base está muy elaborada, tu vista se va también a la base. Entonces, la simplicidad, simple is better sometimes. Entonces, quiero decir, la simplicidad en este caso puede estar justificada. Pero hay una cosa que ha dicho Tony que creo que es importante, que es que habían otras soluciones que podíamos haber aprovechado para no tener que poner esta solución para insertarla en la espalda del personaje, porque realmente la sensación de que está corriendo y tal, este sistema le resta esa sensación de ingravidez que tiene el personaje cuando corre a alta velocidad. Sin embargo, algo que pudiéramos hacer para que el personaje se sujetara sobre la base solo por la punta del pie o por esta zona de apoyo, algún tipo
but you make the base thicker, no? You make the base weighted thicker if that's what you're going to do it that way. Okay.
Esto es algo que es mejorable. O sea, realmente esta solución está bien, pero no es la mejor solución. No es estéticamente lo más agradable. Lo más agradable hubiera sido buscar una solución de sujeción en la parte inferior para que no hubiera nada en esta zona y pareciera más libre el personaje. El personaje parecería estar volando realmente. No estar corriendo a unas velocidades como las que Flash tiene, ¿no? También creo que una de las cosas que también estamos analizando es por qué ponemos rayos solamente en la parte de adelante. O sea, cuando hablamos de la base, ¿no? Y hablamos del custom y todo, pero no sé si vamos a hacer una parte de más observaciones, pero hay una parte aquí que yo he hecho en falta. Ahora la podemos comentar, Tony. El tema de los rayos. ¿Por qué solo hay rayos en la parte superior? ¿Por qué solo este efecto aquí? ¿Por qué no hay más efectos durante el recorrido?
It's the cost, you know? It's the cost. Okay.
Sí, okay, maybe the cost, but it's not so much expensive to make a little bit more of this kind of effect. It's a thinner thing.
Yeah, it's flexible.
It's flexible. You can put another here coming out, giving you the illusion that you
a trail, como es un trail, right?
There's a trail.
Yeah.
O sea, el rastro de la velocidad del personaje se hubiera ayudado muchísimo. Entonces, volviendo al tema de la base, completamente de acuerdo con Tony. Es una base muy sencilla, no aporta ningún valor a la figura, está porque tiene que estar, pero que es mejorable, es bastante mejorable.
Bueno, entonces, how many cheeses are you going to give this stupid base?
One cheese.
Okay, so after all of that shit, still only one cheese he gives it. Still, no matter what you come to, it's still only one cheese because it's a piece of shit base. Sorry. Okay, entonces, so we got a 2, a 3, and a 1. So I think that averages out to be a 2 cheeses for the entire sculpture. That's what I'm thinking that we give this guy. Now, I like him probably more than some of the other Flashes, but I can't come up with too many problems. I think, yes, you could have added more speed force, like you said, maybe a little bit more dramatic flare out, but probably they didn't do that for the same reason that they've got a big hole in the back because it's cheaper to do this than it is to make a weighted base and have him pinned down by the foot. Plus, as Ricardo was pointing out, if you have him running like that, it's a lot more difficult to balance him on the stand. So I kind of forgive them some of that stuff. I only gave the grade I did on the base because I don't like the pole in the back. I like the character, and I like the way this was done very much. I think we are looking at a total of 6 inches on the base, so you're going to want to give at least 8 all the way around. He's extremely light. He's under 1 pound, I think. Yeah? Yeah, he's under a pound, so you don't have to worry about that. And thanks to the fact that they made this base round and it's in the center of that, this is very sturdy. He doesn't wiggle, he doesn't wobble unless. So he's gonna be fine basically wherever you want to put him. He's gonna be great. So our collective cheese rating on the unboxed Flash PVC McFarlane's digital toy is a collective cheese of 2. I have to thank my partner all the way from Spain who stayed up late just so we can unbox this toy together. I made him wait an extra day. Who makes their friend wait an extra day to open a toy? That's terrible. But I made him wait an extra day just so he could do it with me, and I'm really glad we did. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this little Spanglish session going back and forth in the review. And remember that this can be found in Nibble, and we also invite you to go take a look at Nibble whenever you have a chance and put your entire inventory in there. Last words, Ricardo?
Bueno, sigamos con estos unboxings. Ha sido un placer compartir todo esto con Tony y os esperamos aquí con muchas más cosas.
That's it.
Visita Nibble.
That's it. Nibble it up, baby. This is Tony and Ricardo for DC The Flash unboxing, and we are out. Look at